All right, good morning. Welcome to the morning show. Oh, let's bring this mic down a little bit. I hope everyone is doing well today. It's Thursday, and we are having a great day, making things happen. And we're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and I'm now going live on TikTok. Forgot to pull that up, because sometimes it just happens, right? We've also got our Zoom room open. Fun stuff here. Waiting for anybody that wishes to enter in to make that happen. And yeah, it's going to be great. I've got TJ already in the comments. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Of course, I've got my lovely wife, Brittany, right here beside me. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Are you?
Yeah.
Very good. That's not like a loaded question. That's not like, are you sure? Are you sure?
Dragging today a little bit.
Well, I kind of feel like everyone is.
It's the weather. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Full blown.
So, true story, okay? I feel like... What?
We're not even. It's going
to bother me, my OCD. I mean, granted, everyone knows this. This is not like rocket science, something brand new. Weather does affect people's moods. Mm-hmm. You're not getting as much vitamin D, you know, all those things. But it's amazing to see the results just like all the way around, like how people like, and I think even like last night, I don't know if you remember this, but I woke up and it was like storming.
Yeah.
Did you
that's
get
what I mean by the weather. Yeah. Like, although I'm not complaining though. Because I don't like severe storms, obviously, who would? But if you've got a mild thunderstorm, bye. Like I'm deep sleep. Like it's like, oh my gosh.
I am affected.
I've been waiting for this. Yeah. I love a good mild storm. Don't give me alerts, but yeah. I will say though, yesterday was kind of borderline. It was a little rough last night. Like the thunder was loud. It would actually wake me up. I just need rumbles.
I rumble for
don't give
you.
me like claps. When you start giving me claps of thunder, I get frustrated.
Oh,
so.
okay. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I can sleep pretty well through anything.
Unless I tell you to wake up and check the door.
Yeah, like for real though.
I woke up with the thunder sound and I was like, hey, I don't know if our door is locked. I don't want lightning and thunder to break in.
Yeah. Yeah, they're knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got Kayla on the call on the street. This is a radio show. We got Kayla on the call today. Kayla said yes, full.
Who all's out on the airwaves?
Full on feet shuffling, double espresso day. Yep. White noise on Alexa. I don't need any white. I'll be honest with you. That does not do anything for me.
Yeah, you've had it for 3 years. So.
But it does nothing for me.
I don't like. Okay, so before I had kids, I did not like any noise because I want to hear every sound in my house in case someone sneaks in. I guess I really prepare for break-ins a lot, but I didn't like any noise.
Where's your gun?
Huh?
Where's your gun?
That's for me to know. That's for me to know and no one else.
Only
Unless
an intruder.
You break in.
The intruder will find out quickly.
And also, which one? But yeah, funny. So like I always that. But then after I had kids, obviously they sleep a lot better with the noise. So we got a little noise machine, and I like the white noise.
The white noise.
I don't know why these sleeping machines have the sound of like a babbling brook. Are you just asking to pee the bed? Like, the sound of trickling water. That's just, I don't understand it.
Yeah, me neither.
You've never slept to it, because I will not. It's a good analogy.
TJ says, this is a good analogy of how the atmosphere you surround yourself with affects you. That's why you have to safeguard your environment. I agree with that.
Exactly.
Like, I'll be honest, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not unaffected. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, if it's a rainy day, just take an umbrella.
Yeah.
Or a rain jacket.
A lot of people associate rainy days to, like, bad days, too, though. Have you noticed that? Like, oh, gosh, it's rainy. I was just telling Mom the other day, I said, we had a lot of sunny days. And I'm not knocking one or the other, but I said, I actually like a rainy day. I like what it does for the weather, for the plants, for the, environment. But I also it feels cozy. That's the day you kind of curl up inside and you do inside work. Mm-hmm. It's like you kind of hunker down and do that, but there's a cozy vibe to it as well.
Yeah.
So.
Sometimes you got to go out in the rain. It'll change your life.
Yes. Pneumonia
just so you know, that's Brittany saying, no, I'm not doing that.
No, I agree. Pneumonia is life-changing. It's a great thing. Right?
Oh my gosh. Kayla's laughing. She said kids sleep to train tracks. We do thunderstorms. It's necessary.
Not on train tracks, right?
Right, exactly.
Two train
tracks. Exactly. Let's see, we've got somebody here on TikTok saying, I see a faith picture in the background. Do you all have a spare prayer to give out? We're definitely people that believe in praying.
Absolutely.
For sure would love to pray for you. If you don't care, just let us know what we need to pray for. We'd be happy to do that. Mm-hmm. Dance in the rain at least once in your life. You should make that as a sign.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Sister Bot said, yep. Help me sleep, please. Please. I agree with Britt. Well, of course, we all agree with Britt. Team Brittany! I say that. What do you think about when I say that?
I think Spears every time.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that guy. Yeah. Like, for sure.
I used to tell people back in the day. Now people don't get it because I've said it before and people don't get it. They'll say, what's your name? Brittany, as in Spears, only I have hair.
Yeah.
Because I remember that when she went, all head shaven. Shorn? I don't know.
Sure, whatever it was. Whatever.
Whatever. We're talking about fear. Let's go with this.
Let's go with fear. It doesn't look like, and I haven't heard him come on live, but we'll go ahead and make sure that we're here.
I need a shirt for Camp Team Brand.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be involved in the war games now.
I can't help you on the shirt front, but I'll make you a hat with a leather cap.
Yeah, for sure. So we've been talking about fear. Yesterday, we discussed this idea that you were made to withstand the stuff.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that you go through, honestly, you were designed to be okay. Mm-hmm. And you brought up a very interesting point about the scripture talking about you would not be given more, right? You wouldn't be tempted beyond your ability, and that there would be a way of escape. In other words, that this idea is if you're going through too much, if that's how you feel, well, maybe it's because you're hanging on to what you shouldn't hang on to. Mm-hmm. That's why you feel like you can't take it and you won't make it. It's because you're trying to hold on to stuff that God never intended for you to hang on to.
Yeah.
Now, today, we wanted to talk a little bit about strategies around fear and in not becoming fearful, but like, how do you plan around being fearful or even planning beyond fearful? Like, I'm going to tell a story. It's something that's always stuck with me anyways. And then this will kind of open up the conversation. I think it was in the book Entree Leadership by Dave Ramsey. He talked about how he makes decisions. He said,
That's been a minute.
That's been a minute. Like, that's been like a decade, I bet. So, but he always talked about how he makes decisions. He said, number one, I don't make decisions with fear. Like, I resolve my fear before I make decisions. And he says that the game that he plays with himself to combat the fear is he literally imagines the worst case scenario. Mm. He gets really clear on what really could happen. What's the very worst thing that could happen? And then he asks himself this: could I live with that outcome? Mm. Would I be okay with that? If that were to hit me, okay, I could live through that. Mm-hmm. And he said, if you do that, the fear that you have about stepping forward, making that decision, confronting that person, whatever it is, whatever your deal is, you have now taken fear out of the equation. Because I have literally, like, I think sometimes, Brittany, let me ask you if you think this. I think the fear that you have is the scenario, like it's not getting comfortable with what could happen. Like, in other words, you are in such disagreement with what could happen that you would rather not do anything because you can't not compromise, but you know what I'm saying? You could not imagine living in that way. But what if that does happen and you do have to live like that? Mm-hmm. Can you get comfortable with those sets of circumstances? Mm. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely, You're afraid if your fear is what if you fail, or what if you...
Absolutely. Like, what if I ask, like even like, I mean, shoot, like, you're a kid, right? I want to ask this person on a date, right? Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Yeah. Like, even beyond the no, like, they humiliate you? No, I would never go out with you. Yeah. Get away from me, creep. Like, yeah. Number one, the likelihood of that happen, like, I don't get it. Yeah. It's probably not going to happen. Okay. Second, if it were to happen, I'm not going to die from that. Yeah. I can bounce back from that. TJ said that Teddy Roosevelt did something very similar to that in his process. I'm curious, TJ, could you elaborate on that? I'd definitely love, because he has a great saying about being in the arena that I've always loved. You remember, what was her name?
Daring greatly, Brene Brown.
Brene Brown, yes.
She calls him Teddy Roosevelt.
Ruse. It's a Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt.
But to that
I
same...
feel like that
Okay.
adds a, finesse to it.
It does. It's a little more finesse. But like, I think that even adds finesse because some people don't want to get into the arena. And his point was, when people are bashing you or talking about you or whatever, the negativity, he said, you've got to remind yourself, you're the one in the arena. They're the ones that are just spectating.
Yeah.
You've already done the courageous thing by actually stepping out and saying, I'm coming into the fight. I don't know why I said it like that. Fight. I'm going to step into this and I'm actually going to do something about this.
Yeah. And, well, I think the whole point behind the statement, it's not the critic who counts. It's not the man who points out, when the strong man stumbles. It has to do with the person in the arena, and whether you fail or succeed, you did so daring greatly.
Daring greatly.
Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but that's the point, is that you dared to do it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's like, even if you're faced with your worst fear of failing, in your endeavor, at least you did it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think, but I will say on a flip side there, we talked a little bit about this week. Some people are afraid to succeed. Too.
Talk about that.
Just the idea of if,
like, what could be so wrong with succeeding?
Change. Yeah. Some people are just so afraid of change that whether it be good or bad, it's change. And I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid of moving.
All right, we have comments already coming in saying,
you have
can't do that.
Someone saying hi to you.
Oh, what's up, Michael? Good to see you, buddy.
She said terrified. I struggle with that. I struggle with change of any kind. I work at that, but any kind of change. When I was a kid, I used to cry if I'd come home and Mom rearranged the living room.
For real?
Yeah. When I say like a kid, I don't mean 13. I mean more like 7.
But I'm just like,
but still.
I'm just saying, I think what you're saying, I'm being a little facetious, but you're right. People are afraid of even if it's a good change.
Yeah.
Because there's and I don't struggle with that as much. Mm-hmm. So I'm just curious, what is it about the fear of change? What is it that, what is it? Even in a good change, right? What?
TJ said something that's interesting. Fear of success is both fear of change and also fear of future failure. And I can't say that I would think that way, but yeah, actually, because I think the fear, if you really kind of interpret it, is maintaining your success.
Yeah.
If one thing I will say that freaked me out. I had the opportunity to be invited. There's a writer's retreat, mm-hmm. and the guy over it, you have to be invited. He has to hear your stuff, and he thinks that you're qualified to be a part of this writer's retreat where you come together and you write music. So he somebody sent him our songs or something. Mm-hmm. And so, my dad, obviously he knew who he was. He's like, absolutely, I want to hear something, from Brittany. So he sent him, I wrote a song called Grace. Mm-hmm. And he sent him that song. And he's like, yes, yeah, come on. All right, well, I should have been so excited about that. And then coming into the writer's retreat, we had to sing a song that we've written because we're new, right? So we had to sing one of our songs so kind of people get an idea of what we write. And mine was Grace. And I remember I was so scared to sit in that room with all of those writers that have written, countless songs in the Christian music industry. And I'm sitting here singing this song that I'm very proud of, right? Grace came from honestly a prayer session for me. And it just flowed, ended up being one of the more poetic style songs that I've written. And so I'm super proud of it. it was a huge achievement for me, and I love that song. I feel like it's a beautiful message, right? So I get up to sing it, and I am so scared to be there with this song because my biggest fear is, will I ever be able to write another song that's like Grace?
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like, oh gosh, maybe I'm a one-hit wonder.
This is all I've got.
Maybe this is all I've got. It's not even a hit, but like, I was so afraid of the success that might come from that because I don't know if I can maintain that success. What if I can't deliver that again? What if I can't do that again? What if I preached that sermon and it was really awesome and now I'm at this conference, but I can't make another sermon like that again. Like that fear. What if I gain this client, but I can't make as good of a piece of furniture or good of I can't shoot that wedding the way I need to. By the way, cameras, not guns. But I do. That's something that I've always struggled with is so I guess maintaining that success to TJ's point,
Interesting.
It also ties to imposter syndrome. Yes, it does. Fear of success. That is so true and so real. Yeah, fear is not
getting it right the first time and failing. Okay, fear of not getting it right. Ooh, they're coming in. Fear of not getting it right the first time and failing, even if I tried my best, feeling like my best won't be good enough, being naive. Interesting. Feeling like I have to maintain others' expectations after a win. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I know exactly. Okay, Sister Violet's on.
So people are on board with me with this whole fear of success thing. I mean, because think about it. You work so hard to get that win, right? And then what about after? And as a society...
Is there even a fear of like, this was just an accident? I'm really not this, like through TJ's, like the imposter?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Yeah, maybe I really don't belong here. Maybe I'm unqualified. Maybe I'm...
They're going to figure me out.
Yeah. But that fear is tied to your self-confidence. This goes back to what we've talked about for weeks, how you view yourself. And so maybe you were able to suppress your negative feelings towards yourself enough to gain that win. But you can't suppress those negative feelings. You have to face them, you have to conquer them, and you have to change your mindset. And if you don't believe yourself capable, then of course people are going to find you out. People are going to find you out that you think negatively of yourself. I don't know. That's just about it.
Well, you know what? The thing about that, just unpacking that, because I would say at least everyone that's seeing this, like, that's not a troll. Like, seriously, I don't think most people have seen your best potential yet, simply because you've not gotten comfortable being who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, and the funny thing is, more often than not, I feel like other people see your potential better than you see your potential. Do you agree with that? Why do you think that is? Why is it that? Is it because you're with yourself all the time?
Yeah, we say we're our own worst critics. Maybe that's why. Because all we see is the critical side. Maybe we see the battle inwardly. Obviously, we're battling inwardly, so we don't step back and see. I think we do ourselves a disservice at how negative. And I think, too, the way that we view ourselves, because we're so negative, then we seek approval from other people. And then, therefore, the idea of maintaining other people's approval, that takes a lot from us because we've already given up on our own approval of ourselves. We don't even manage that because we've given up on it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get that from somebody else. But truth be told, you're doing them a disservice and yourself.
Right.
They'll never give you what only you can give you.
Yeah.
And the only way you can give you what you can give you. That's word.
They don't know that we know that they know.
That the only way that you're able to feel that fulfillment has to do with your identity, has to do with how you view yourself. How can you view yourself better? Well, that comes through your relationship with God. That comes through your relationship with yourself. And, this goes back to, we've talked about this for, a month now. I mean, all of these things really do connect.
Well, and the reason being said, like, legit.
Yeah, because they are not in your head. You're in your head.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you don't know what we are talking about. We being me and myself and I. Like, for real. Let's see here. Kiddo says, I think if you see someone's potential, We are to encourage each other's strengths. Community can help build self-esteem. I do agree. There's definitely a level of who you surround yourself with. There's a level of, the encouragement aspect. But I will say this, it's also the aspirational thing. Getting around people that are going like the same direction you're wanting to go too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree. And you know what? To take the disapproval thing, to go ahead and just nip it in the bud, like to Sister Violet's point, I love to cook and make dishes.
She's a great cook.
Yeah, but then she thinks that, oh gosh, if somebody's not going to like this, then that puts fear in her heart. I think something that has helped me is when I start my endeavor, and this is an active practice, like I'm still learning this. But when I start my endeavor, whatever it may be, I'm going to go ahead and realize I am not everyone's cup of tea. Not everybody is going to like what I offer, right? They're just not. I'm not, the way I word things, that I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, because there are people in my life that are people in...
Part of my fear.
What is it?
Becky is saying fear is a huge... doubt is a huge part of her fear.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, there are people that I know in this world, right? There are motivational speakers, life speakers, preachers. They're not my favorite to listen to. Singers, not my favorite to listen to. That doesn't mean I don't think that they are, that they're good. They are to somebody else, but it's not for me. And just like that, I'm not for everybody. And I have to
Absolutely.
realize that and be okay with that, because while I'm not for everybody, I am for somebody.
Well, and you know what, even in that aspect, so like for instance, because I always imagine things through the lens of business, okay? So to your point, if somebody doesn't like your thing, your product, your food, whatever, your book, your talking, it just simply means, like you said, this is not for you.
Yeah.
Like your criticism of what I made isn't necessarily an indictment that I suck. It may just mean I didn't make this for you, and I need to get okay with that real fast and go find the people I did make this for. Instead of trying to convert the unconvertible, go find the people looking for you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And that way you don't have this like, man, I'm just getting rejected. Like, well, number one, did you really get rejected, or are you rejecting yourself before you even do anything, right? Because of the imposter thing. But are you looking to help people that are looking for your help?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Are you, and yeah, people, this is totally hitting a nerve, because we're blowing up here. Yeah, that's hard for me. I'm a people pleaser. You guys are right on it. You guys are awesome. Yeah. So it's impossible to be a people pleaser, even though that's what, genuinely, that is a thing that we're people pleasers.
You can't be, because trying to please others, you displease yourself.
You do, because to one person, you're not enough.
Yeah.
And to another person,
You're too much.
You're too much.
Too much.
And so but then there's somebody out there, and I'm going to call that somebody, your tribe, your person, that's like, you are my porridge and you are just right. It's that you are exactly what I need. And so that's something I think that's important to realize. While, it just, one of the greatest audios right now that's going on in the maker community, which I'm honored.
Define the maker community.
The maker community is like your DIYers, your... I make wooden signs and furniture. Yeah, anything like that. So they call that the maker community. Scroll saw artists, these people that make beautiful furniture, art, whatever it is, maker community. So there's this audio that's like going around, and it's this general contractor. And he says, look, I'm a general contractor. And he said, I am so busy with work right now. And he said, so when a client comes to me, after I give them a quote, and they come to me and they say that I'm too expensive for them, I believe them. I am too expensive for them. Like, they're looking for a bargain. I'm offering a value. I'm offering, quality. You know what I'm saying? I love that idea, because he's come to grips with the fact that, hey, it's okay that somebody thinks I'm too expensive. I'm not going to compromise what I know to be true with, with my product, because one person says I'm too expensive. Now, granted, if you get a large number of people that say the same thing, well, then, look at that and evaluate. But the idea of knowing your worth enough to not waver and believe that person. Like, I believe you. I'm too expensive.
I believe you.
For you.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't, I'm
But
too
when you're
expensive
ready for me, love to help you.
Yeah. Like that, but that is understanding that's not an imposter.
Right.
That is somebody who knows their worth, knows what they offer. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people struggle with taking that step in business or taking that in their profession when they are amazing at what they do. That's what blows my mind. That's what makes me think you're never fully ready, because you could do something with blindfolded with your hands tied behind your back because you're so good at it, but you're still going to be afraid. This is something everybody struggles with, no matter how good you are. It's a practice to kind of have that self-confidence and swallow that fear of imposter or I'm not enough or I have to please everybody. It's
And people are funny. Like, let's see here. Kayla says, Billy said, if you're told you're too much, you tell them to go find less.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
TJ said, if Jesus, Lincoln, and Dr. King had their detractors, we should remember we will too. That's right. Sister Violet, that's me. Listen, it's true. Like, seriously, we all struggle with this. As a matter of fact, Martinez and Malachi, I bet he just popped on here, and I'm sure no one ever gives Martinez this issue. He's out here running his butt off, showing houses, doing all the paperwork, making sure it gets off. They're about to finance $500,000, but they're upset at some of his closing costs.
Yeah.
He just started laughing.
It just goes, it's part of the territory, right? I mean, it's like anytime you step out to, exercise your skill, your strength, your passion, you're just going to get a detractor. It's interesting, like as you mentioned houses, I got a contract now. I've never worked so hard for a buyer than I've ever had before in my life. Like as it relates, a seller. Excuse me. I have replaced dead wood for them, as far as like made repairs, painted for them, because they couldn't hire a contractor and do it themselves, right? Got them the highest price in the neighborhood and in the history of the neighborhood. And then they come to me because they complain to me because like the seller, which they agreed upon, wants to, move into the house on the day that they close. Mm-hmm. It sounds ridiculous, right? Mm. They thought that they could be able to close and still stay there for 30 days. And then they're telling me they're like well, you need to communicate better. You should have did this. You should have did that. And I'm like, you just take it with grace. You're like, oh, okay, I'll do better next time. But no. The point is, it's like, just like someone mentioned, if Jesus had hit as good as he was, as great as all the miracles that he did, people actually had something bad to say about him.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. He just made a blind man able to see. He just made a
But you did that on the Sabbath.
You did that on the Sabbath.
You did that when you weren't supposed to. Yeah.
You did it on a Sunday. You did it on the Sabbath. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, these people got too much time. Or that they're not in the realm of gratefulness.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
That's true.
Just being, wow, man, look at it. Look what my eyes have seen today. Oh my goodness, that's so wonderful that mother's child were restored to her.
Yeah. But that understanding is valuing that person has the opinion of you that is, say, not what you would want them to have, but being okay. That goes back to what I said earlier. You're not everybody's cup of tea. Being okay with that.
Absolutely. I like what
saying?
Becky said here. everyone is not always for everyone. Like it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's
and
impossible.
Let me just give you this nugget, okay? Let me just give you this nugget that I have been told that I'm like, this is amazing.
Oh, got some on me.
Whatever. So this is.
I love the humility.
Yeah, this is amazing. Somebody said this, and I was like, whoa, right? So another person's opinion of you, another person's thought process and their opinion of you is none of your business. Like their opinion of you, if you hear somebody talking about you, right? Like somebody's talking about you, whether it be your business or whatever, and well, you know, they said some stuff. All right,
Yeah.
it ain't none of your business. What they think of you is none of your business. They are entitled to think whatever they think.
Yeah.
Right? What is your business is how you choose to live your life. How you choose to sell your product, how you choose to show up to work. And if somebody feels like you were slacking and they ain't gonna say something to your face, but they think it, and then you hear that there's something, it ain't none of your business. It ain't none of your business. You don't have to say something about it. You don't have to passive aggressively post about it. You don't have to nothing. It's none of your business because it's going to do is tear you down. And if you're giving it your all, if you're doing your best, right? And you're trying to combat your fear and you're trying to face your issues and you're doing it in a godly manner, with people, with people that you put kind of in authority of you or whatever, you're doing the right things. It ain't none of your business what everybody else says about you because not everybody else is going to agree with you, and that's okay. I'm saying this as if it's easy. It's not. This is a practice. This is something that I'm saying practice it. We talked about this, like you are a certified trainer, right?
Right.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, that's fine.
You're a certified.
I will pump
you up. Yeah, you're a certified personal trainer. You know what to do.
Absolutely.
To build muscle, right?
Lose weight, build muscle.
To lose weight, you
Absolutely.
know what to do. You are certified in that, right? You're certified in that. Does that make it easier when you work out? Does that make your muscles hurt less?
No, and to that point, it's funny because with that, here's how to do it, but there is so much information out there.
Yeah.
That's wrong, by the way. Just so you know. Anybody that says don't do cardio, be aware. Your heart's kind of an important thing.
Yeah,
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But the point is, you're exactly right.
This is information, and it sounds simple enough, but applying that information is still going to hurt. It's still going to be hard. It's still going to, my muscles are still sore, right? I went to the chiropractor for 2 months now? 3 months? Whatever it was. And you know what? I'm hurting just as much today as I was the first time. Because when you apply something new, even though you have knowledge or even though it hurts still.
Absolutely.
So what we're saying, sometimes I get a little animated and passionate. I don't want it to come across like it's just that simple.
No, but I will tell you
know.
this. Here's where I would say, originally we started this conversation. I'm glad this went this way because there is a flip to getting to your baseline. Hey, I eliminate fear by saying, hey, this is how bad it could get. Okay. But I move past it because I look to see how big and how good things could get.
Yeah.
What's the opportunity, right? For instance, a lot of buzz about social media, right? A lot of people are hitting social media hard to grow their business, that kind of thing. And they're like, man, if I could, I look at some of these people and they have 1 million people following them, okay? Does that sound unrealistic?
No.
Well,
But yes.
But here's the deal. Here's why. It's your thinking.
Yeah.
You're so afraid, man, I can't even get 1,000, 1 million. Here's the deal. 1 million people on this planet represents, here, I'll just pull it out. Let's see here. Is it on there?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
That's 0.0000125% of the population.
Yeah.
You're freaking out because they got literally 1,000th with a TH of a percent of the world to pay attention to them. And you think that's crazy?
And unreachable.
And unreachable?
Yeah. and you're like changing your strategy because 5 people in your friend circle don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said no.
Yeah. When I'm gonna tell you, it's like the art community. Like there, so you sit there and obsess over, oh God, it's not good enough. There are people that take a marker and draw a single line and sell it for $50,000. You know what I mean? Like it's whatever it is you're offering, there is a market somewhere. That's not to say you don't hone in on it and you don't work on your craft, but don't act like something like that isn't reachable for what you offer.
Right. Which this is kind of interesting.
MySpace top 5.
It's kind of interesting. Today we've kind of went we always have. We're kind of developing, if I'm being honest, maybe this is just me, but I think we're starting to develop some core themes of what interests us as a community. Yeah. I think obviously marriage and family interests us, but I think business interests us. I think there's a lot of people that, they're kind of sick and tired of doing what they're doing, and we want to do well. Yeah. We want to do better. We want to make better impacts with what we're doing. I think it's just kind of interesting the things that we get interested in.
Yeah, because there's so many people that want to do something. They want to do whatever it may be, whether it's start your own business or work in another business or whatever it may be. There's so many people that want to do something and they're afraid of it because they don't believe enough in themselves.
Yeah.
That's like a perpetual theme. I know I struggle with that, and it's a daily practice to combat it. But to kind of circle it back around to our main theme here, and we've been talking about fear, and that to me is a huge trigger. It has to do with what you entertain, right? In your mind. Mm-hmm. I'm entertaining a negative perception of me, and it's causing fear. Mm-hmm. Stop entertaining that perception.
Yeah.
And like I said, it sounds simple. It takes practice.
Yeah.
But just change it. If somebody's talking negative, you know what? You don't have to unfriend that person, but you can unfollow them. They'll never know the difference, but your life is better. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you're entertaining negative social media, if you're entertaining the news 24/7, right? Like if you have an alert that says COVID's on an uptick, and you're like, oh my God, you're entertaining fear. It's affecting your life. It's affecting your life. It's okay to be informed about certain things, right? It's okay to check stats in your social media if you're running a business. It's okay but don't be obsessed with it. It's just going to create fear. Mm-hmm. And those kinds of things I think help kind of clear your head to not be obsessed with certain things, people's opinions, news, whatever it may be, and move forward and really entertain the idea of success.
Yeah.
The idea of succeeding. Mm-hmm. The idea of, yes, you're going to have your own fears with that, right? Like, well, what if I do get successful and then it's hard to maintain? That's a negative perception of success. Mm-hmm. You gotta stay positive.
I wonder, as you're talking, I think to myself, I wonder what the benefit would be of just singularly focused, driven mindset, mm-hmm. Like singularly focused, driven mindset. Because I was just thinking about how David, he had all his brothers and all that kind of stuff, and how he was delegated to just being the shepherd boy. And I'm probably sure he, was thinking, man, they get to do this and they get to do that or whatever. And then even when Samuel came and was looking for, a king, he was found out herding sheep or whatever, out with the sheep. And so my thinking is he probably had some battles mentally, why am I out here or something? But maybe he was he got to a point, well, hey, this is who I am. I'm going to humble myself, and I'm going to do the best job that I possibly can in herding and taking care of these sheep.
Yeah.
To the point where, he's like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I do, and no one can tell me that I can't do it. And in that, he found himself doing miraculous things such as fighting the about said dragon. What I'm thinking,
giant
Japanese here or something like that. But
David and the Dragon.
No offense, no, but
this has some Greek mythology undertones.
That's awesome.
But all I'm saying is singularly minded focus.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what I do. This is who I am. Oh, and there's not going to be a lion or a bear that's going to hinder me from doing the best job I possibly can.
Yeah.
And then, and he was so focused. I think he was even more focused about not just being a shepherd, but doing it as unto the Lord, because I think that underbelly, that of saying, hey, whatever I find my hands doing, I'm going to do it with all my might, giving thanks to the Father. Mm-hmm. He's given me this ability, because I think that drove him to, elevate his game, which led to the giant, even in the midst of his brothers who were like, dude, go home. You don't deserve to be here. Even in the midst of Saul saying, hey, listen, try this armor. This armor right here, blah, blah, blah. He's got all these distractors, but at the end of the day, he was singularly focused. He was like, this is who I am. And I'm doing this as unto the Lord. You know what I mean? So, I would think, even Joseph, in some regards, was just passionately, singularly focused to that dream. And, whether his brothers, his family, or whoever talked about him, whether he was thrown in jail or not. And like you said, Britt, it's not easy, I wouldn't think. But, notice that Joseph, in his journey, he never mumbled any, murmurings or bitterness toward his family or brothers.
Yeah.
And so, there's success leaves clues, right? Mm-hmm. And the clues that we take from David and Joseph is hey, just being focused, not murmuring, complaining, turning neither to the left or right, and just being okay, this is what I do. This is what I do. And I'm going to do this with all my might, because at the end of the day, right, it does none of us any good to play small, mm-hmm. to be fearful, to buck in times of when the heat is on. What's that scripture? It says, if your strength faints in time of adversity, then your strength is small. Mm-hmm. I'm like, who wants to have small strength?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
Little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's perpetual themes of just head down, do the work, stay focused on the front thing. Yeah.
I like this. Just do it.
And then
scared.
Just do it scared.
Right. And then this, just, social media and all this, it's just another ear. It's just another brother or sister. Joseph had the distractors when he was, I'm going to throw you into the grave and we'll see what will become of your dreams. Okay. All right. All his brothers did that,
Yeah.
It's that they were the social media of that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's there is madness, but there is a method to rise above that madness. You know what I mean? And mm-hmm. I not saying that I've achieved it. I'm still in the lab myself, but I kind of look back on, okay, if it's been done, how did it get done? Mm-hmm. If fear was overcome, how did it get overcome? Who did it before me? Maybe I can take lessons from them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
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 What a great day. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, yeah. Head down. Do the work. Do your thing. Don't let fear keep you from kind of jumping into your success. Don't let fear of success keep you from success. Don't let fear of failure keep you from success. Just do that thing, man. Get that domain, buy that domain.
Right,
Start
exactly.
that website. Whatever it is, there's somebody on here that's been waiting to do something. Just do it.
Well, I will say this too, okay, because what you just said is very good, okay?
Do that thing.
Just do that thing, dog. No,
You're gonna get me in a lawsuit with Nike.
Right. No, what I would say to people is you're okay. I want to see how I should start this, but be willing to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, maybe a part of the reason that you're fearful is because you have not, to his point, become or built the strength yet to overcome it, because you've not done the first things, which is invest in you.
Yeah. 100%.
Like become the person that runs that business. Become the person that is that father or mother or leader. Like become that person. And you're like, to your point, buy that domain, right?
Yeah.
A domain is $10 a year. Okay. Yet right now you are, if you hesitate at that, let me tell you what you have done. You have minimized, you have said that you are not worth $10, that your ideas are not worth $10. And you've also said that everything, like, not to be whatever, if you look, I mean, I could be wrong, all circumstances or whatever, but don't tell me that you are willing to pay you won't pay $10 once for a domain for an idea that you want to put some time and energy behind, but you'll pay $20 a month for Netflix. You are incongruent.
And
Ouch.
understand that an investment okay, so investing in yourself and pampering yourself is two different things.
Totally
Because I
two
think
different
sometimes
things.
society is like, invest in you. It's worth it for you, and then you go out and get a manicure. And I'm not knocking that. But
how did
I
that
wanna
get you to your
clarify.
dreams?
Yes, like I want to clarify. Like sometimes we need some me time, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Go get your nails done. You look fresh, queen. Like woo. But I'm talking about, you're talking about investing in your craft, in the thing that's going to take you to a level where you can afford however many pedicures and manicures you want, right? Because
Right.
because there's nothing that takes the place of accomplishment.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
And you're going to have those times where you need some me time and stuff, but just to clarify, make the investment to grow your craft, right? That's what you're
Absolutely.
saying. Make that investment. And yeah, self-care can be an investment, but at the same time,
But it
there's,
can also be I'm hiding. I'm
Yeah.
getting ready to get ready.
well, it's defense. It's
Yeah.
defense. I am constantly living on the defense. I've
Yeah.
got to go have some me time because I'm barely keeping my head above water. And what we're talking about is when you're investing in yourself to grow your as a mom, right? Like grow your knowledge, right? Or whatever that may be, or as a business owner, expanding your knowledge. That's giving you it's taking it from defensive to offensive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've got the one up here. I'm feeling like I'm winning here. And then when I feel like I'm winning, I take, and all of it takes all of it, right? But I think so many people are held back because they don't want to invest in growing their knowledge.
Well, I was just going to say that
book is too expensive.
The knowledge is the multiplier.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
granted, it multiplies when you apply it. Like, I'm going to share a little story and kind of in the wrap up. So we took some of the POM Academy kids up to the church yesterday and deep cleaned the church. And on the way up there, it was funny. One of the kids asked me about taxes. So we started talking about taxes and talking about, how inflation works, and that's why you got to invest your money, blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, how could I invest? I said, well, you're at the age, you need to be investing in who you're becoming. Like, you need to invest in yourself. I said, I'll give you an example. I said, if you paid me $1 and I gave you $10 for that one, how many times would you do that? She was like, sorry. The student said, I would do that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'd get as many dollars, right? Because that's a good deal. I said, so if you could read a book that cost you $30 or take an online course, $30, apply that knowledge in 90 days, 120 days, whatever, make $10,000 based on that skill that you learned out of that $30 program, would you do it? They're like, well, yeah, of course. And then I said this, then why don't you? And it was like, oh, that's why you buy books.
I never knew.
Like, that's why it's all
This is
about
brand
reading
new
books,
information.
because the book gives me more value than the
Yeah.
$30. The $30 is the right of access. I'm just merely saying, okay, I want $30 because it's going to create something, help me become the person that's the kind of person that can make that. Like, for instance, Martinez had to get licensed as a real estate agent, okay? He had to pay his rite of passage, he invested in it, And now he's got the right and the opportunity and the skills to exceed that investment. So I'm just simply saying, like, does your investment get you to your end goal, your dreams? Is it attached to that? Anyways.
Yeah, you're not self-absorbed if you say you're good at anything. You're exactly right. Absolutely. It's not selfish to invest in yourself. 100%. Because you are the only thing you can guarantee being with you until the day you die.
Right.
It's you. You're stop beating yourself up, man. That's the one thing you're guaranteed in this life is you. And so building yourself up, taking care of yourself, and investing in yourself. It's all of it. It's not one without the other. It's all of it, right? Self-care, self-investment, self-confidence. It matters. It matters. So yeah, do that thing. Don't let fear keep you from being the best version of yourself. Don't let it be.
I agree.
I love this conversation. This is great. This is awesome.
Yeah, I had a blast. I had a fun. We're getting better at this whole hour thing. So maybe we'll do okay next week when we start that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everybody being on today. Martina, as always, appreciate you being on. Brittany, you're awesome. Both of you, you're awesome.
Thank you.
So we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know why I was about to say 5 a.m.
He'll be back tomorrow, 5 a.m. if that's the case.
By himself. Okay. 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll wrap up this conversation around fear, overcoming it, getting used to it, right? Because, look, fear is not going away. You don't just overcome it and never have it again. Yeah. You're constantly learning how to manage that and taking courage and taking
that's good. I'm so refreshed. We're so glad.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's so good.
5 a.m. is more of a prayer call. Yeah, for sure. Oh, Lord.
We want you to feel refreshed. Conquer the day.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Much love, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.